Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, please click the subscribe button. In this video I want to show you how I made this crispy roasted granules using pan. I did not use the oven method because I feel pan will be a kind of faster for me. So this video you'll see how I used the pan method to roast my granules. So this the granules I'm using. Try to take out the bad ones from it. So the next I'll be adding it in a hot water. Stir to mix properly. At this point you can add your salt if you wish, but this quantity I'm making is actually much. It will require a huge amount of salt. So sieve out the water as I did. After 2 minutes on the fire, I sieve out the water, and at this point I want to add the salt. So I try to mix properly. I did not add everything in one bowl because the granite is actually much. It will not take everything in a bowl, so I have to separate it. So once I'm done mixing, I'm going to spread it on a sack. Using this type of, you can use sack or parchment paper to spread it. I've just spread it on the tray, but it started raining outside. I can't take it outside, so I used the sack. This also helped to absorb the water away from the granite. So at this point that I spread it properly like this, I will be able to select some of the bad ones . Some of them I cut it open because the outside might appear bad, but the inside will still be okay. So I cut it open and to confirm if it is actually really bad. So after like several hours, you have to wait until the granite is properly dried. After waiting for like several hours, the granite skin is now dried, and it will be a time for me to start roasting. So to roast, I have to put a pan, and I use like a cup and a half of gari. You can use salt, sand, or corn flour, or not just corn flour, corn grade. It won't be in a flour form, to a kind of let it add as a heat absorber that will help your granite roast properly. If you roast it directly, your granite will get burnt. So even if you're using an oven method, it is at this point, after adding it like this, you put it in your oven, but you have to still check time to time, toast it around to make sure that it doesn't get burnt. But for the pan method, just as I'm doing, you also keep stirring it side by side, and as you stir, you make sure you stir to the bottom until the gari has turned golden brown. That will suggest to you that the groundnut is roasting up here, because it has absorbed a lot of heat. As it absorbs it, it transfers it to the groundnuts. You can always pick out 1 or 2 groundnuts to check if it has roasted to your desired level. This one is properly roasted. I'm transferring it into a tray. Though it would have been you transfer it to your sieve. If you have an iron sieve, that is fine, but I have a plastic sieve, and if I transfer it on that sieve, it's going to get it burnt. So what I did was I transfer it on this tray and gently take out the groundnut by hand without sieve. So I use this to toss it around to a kind of further expose the groundnuts, and I continue taking them out. So I'm done with that one. This is second batch. I still use that same gari that I used in frying the first batch. You can still do the same. You must not necessarily change the gari. The same gari can still be used over and over again to do your roasting. So once I'm done with the second batch, I'll still take it out on the tray and do the same thing. Like I spread it out like this for the heat, because it's very hot, for the heat to go out. Then I will still take out the groundnuts by hand. If your hand can't take the heat, maybe if it's very hot, you can still let the groundnut cool a little before you start taking it out. But if you have your iron sieve or iron basket, or wooden sieve or wooden basket, you can just go ahead and transfer it into that and sieve. So I'm done with this one here. You see it, you won't even know it was taken out by hand. So I'm now on the last batch, still using that same gari. Also stir constantly until it's properly roasted, taking it out again to still pick the groundnut out by hand. So once I'm done, I'm put all of them together. I was actually transferring it on a leather bag. So I'll put it in that leather bag and let it be. Still selecting out the groundnut, guys. So as you can see, it's properly selected. All the groundnuts are out. So this gari now, I will save it on a leather, kind of tie it and keep it somewhere to be used next time when I'm doing roasting. I don't need to pick another fresh gari. So here you see how clean it looks, properly selected by hand, no sieve. So you can always improvise, use what you can use, and don't let what you don't have stop you from using what you have. So here I've put them in an airtight container. You don't want to expose it, only when you want to peel the skin like this. If you want to peel the skin immediately, then you expose it and peel the skin. But if you don't want to peel the skin immediately, keep it in an airtight container so that it doesn't get tougher, like it will no longer be crispy if it has too much air. So this is the containers I want to save them, transferring them in these containers. And here, groundnut was so tasty. The salt was not much because I just spread it on it. So here is it, guys. We are done roasting our groundnut. So the groundnut is looking well roasted, looks so brownish. I'm kind of saving it like this without peeling the skin, because most time I prefer eating it with the skin, because the skin still contains some amount of nutrients or minerals. You can still check that out. Peeling it is just to make it more attractive, but like this, it contains more nutrients. So guys, I'm kind of covering them tightly. Make sure you cover it very tight to keep it away from air, because the air can damage it. It will make it no longer tasty and crispy. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video.